All right, survivors, grab your green herbs and your broken typewriter ribbon, because Capcom's decided we've had enough action hero Leon cosplay. Resident Evil Requiem isn't about mowing down waves of mutants anymore. It's about being fragile, terrified, and asking yourself, did I just pay $70 to feel like a victim? The answer is yes. Yes, you did. And it looks incredible. So what is Requiem? We know it takes place in the ruins and remnants of Raccoon City, 30 years after its nuke destruction, following FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft as she uncovers horrors at the hotel where her mother died years ago. With tense flashbacks to their family trauma, all set against the ruins of Raccoon City's big nuclear urban renewal project. Spoiler, didn't exactly boost property values. The big shift? So far, this game is pure survival horror. Hiding, sneaking, clutching at bottles and lighters, and praying that the towering skin-peeled nightmare with a mouthful of razors doesn't spot you in the dark. Gameplay even lets you toggle between immersive first-person for raw fear and third-person for more dynamic action. Think less Resident Evil 4 action movie and more Outlast meets The Last of Us, with Capcom's obsession for family trauma dialed up to 11. It's atmosphere, tension, and a creeping dread that's less boss fight and more Saturn devouring his son levels of nightmare fuel. But we'll get to that reference in a bit. This is a family drama that spirals into terror. Grace isn't a cop, a soldier, or even Ethan Chainsaw Hands Winters. She's normal, fragile even. Combat's dialed way back, with inventory and puzzles reframed through raw fear rather than action hero antics. And yes, speculation's already flying about returning characters. Timeline-wise, Leon could make an appearance. Not confirmed, but fans are buzzing. And let's be honest, Capcom loves dangling cameos like cheese in a mousetrap. Could Jill or Chris show up? Maybe. But the focus here is clearly Grace, and that makes this the boldest mainline Resident Evil in years. Now let's talk speculation. And no, this isn't just random scribbles from a Raccoon City police report. Fans across forums, Reddit, and YouTube have already been pointing out that Requiem feels heavily inspired by Francisco Goya. We've got the obvious one, Saturn devouring his son, which mirrors the whole parent and child devoured by fate theme. But others have pointed to Goya's black paintings in general, especially the Sleep of Reason produces monsters. And that's also my theory, but I'm not alone. This is a growing conversation in the fan base, and Capcom knows exactly what they're doing by sprinkling in that imagery. And then there's Grace herself. The trailers and demos show her as fragile, panicked, and clinging to her mother for safety. But some of the marketing artwork paints a different picture. The thumbnail shot of her in the leather jacket, for example. Well, that Grace looks like she's ready to face down something bigger. She's more confident, even hardened by what she survived. Which raises a big question. Is Capcom setting us up for a character evolution? A slow burn where Grace goes from vulnerable kid to capable survivor. And that ties right into gameplay speculation. It's hard to imagine a 12 to 15 hour campaign where you never touch a weapon. More likely, Grace's growth will be reflected in what she's able to do. Early gameplay, pure survival horror, hiding and fleeing. Mid to late gameplay, small weapons trickling in, maybe a revolver, maybe a shotgun. Symbolic of her transformation. Not Jill Valentine with a rocket launcher, but Grace stepping into her own strength. So why does Resident Evil Requiem matter? Because it shows Capcom still has guts. They could have pumped out another Leon action romp or safe remake. Instead, they're giving us something experimental, unnerving, and maybe the most artsy Resident Evil yet. Will fans freak out that Leon's not drop-kicking zombies this time? Absolutely. But for horror fans, this is gold. It's a reminder that Resident Evil isn't just about guns and viruses. It's about dread, about helplessness, and about the kind of fear that sticks in your chest long after the jump scare is over with. So survivors, buckle up. Resident Evil Requiem isn't here to comfort you. It's here to chew you up like Saturn himself and spit out the bones. The question is, are you ready to play the most terrifyingly human Resident Evil yet? If you dug this breakdown, hit that sub button, drop your theories in the comments. I'll be lurking down there with the rest of you. Together we'll figure out just how much trauma Capcom's about to put us through. So until next time, God bless, be safe. I'll see you guys in the dark.